Final Four in Section 5 Class 4A Volleyball. Tonight, a semifinal match between the 5th seeded Hopkins Royals and the number 1 seed, the Wayzata Trojans. From Wayzata High School, John Jacobson along with Andy Guggesberg. The first of 2 semifinals tonight on CCX. The second one, Maple Grove and Champlin Park to follow. Andy, let's talk about this Hopkins team. 11 wins last year, 18 wins this year. They've had a really good season.
They certainly have. New head coach, brought in a little different culture. They're doing some really nice things, and a senior class that's leading them to some really cool places.
For Wayzata, what do you say about the Trojans? Number 1 team in the state, ranked nationally, going for a 4th straight state championship possibly this year. Since September 18th, Andy, they've only lost 1 set.
They're just
crazy.
They just build things differently here, I feel like. And this team is built, we were watching them in warm-ups a little bit. They're so big, they're so smooth, they're so athletic. They do everything better than everybody else. They could have honestly put an entire all-state team together of just Trojans.
Hopkins comes in, hey, they've got nothing to lose, right? So they're ready to play. They've seen Wayzata this year. They lost to them, but they're playing loose, right?
Absolutely. This senior class is ready to go. They're getting after it a little bit. They're calm, they're collected. They seem to be having a good time when they were warming up. It'll be exciting for them. This might be the end of their season, probably will be the end of their season, but they're going to put it all out there just in case.
Let's look at our key players, starting with the Royals. An outstanding senior, Amaya Jennings, leads the team not only in kills, but also in digs.
Yeah, she is a 6th rotation asset for this team. Digs probably 60% of the court, hits from everywhere, and has a bloodline that doesn't like losing.
Right, Greg Jennings, former Viking and Packers wide receiver, her father. And on the Wayzata side, Olivia Swenson, a great senior, part of a great Swenson volleyball family, but Liv's having a really good year.
Liv absolutely having a great year. We talked about lineage with our last key player, and Liv falls into that. Big outside hitter, has turned into a phenomenal first contact hit over the last year and a half. She is really hitting her stride here as section play gets going.
Winner moves into the section final next Wednesday at Osseo High School. We'll get started with this first semifinal. Hopkins Wayzata live on CCX in a moment. We are at Wayzata High School on a Thursday late afternoon. The top seed and top-ranked Wayzata Trojans taking on the number 5 seed, the Hopkins Royals, here in the Section 5 4A volleyball semifinals. John Jacobson and Andy Guggesberg. Andy will be along with Jay Wilcox for tonight's second semifinal on CCX, featuring the 3 and the 2 seeds, Maple Grove and Champlin Park. Here's a look at the bracket in Section 5. Wayzata with a sweep of Park Center on Tuesday. Osseo was the 4th seed, but Hopkins goes into Osseo and gets a sweep on the Orioles on Tuesday to get to tonight. Maple Grove and Champlin Park also winning in 3 to set up their second semifinal. And then, as I mentioned, our championship match, neutral site at Osseo, next Wednesday at approximately 7 o'clock. I say approximately because the Section 5 3A championship is at 5 p.m. and depending on how late that goes and how long it goes, we could be later than 7.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough. I work with one of the coaches in this conference or in this section, and she said it was probably the fastest seating meeting they've ever had, because 1 and 2 were obvious, 3 was pretty obvious. The 4-5 argument, which we found out was needed because 5 beat 4, and then 6, 7, and 8 just all fell in line as well. So this going almost to seed, everybody expects to see Wayzata and Champlin come out here, except for the Hopkins and Maple Grove faithful, of course.
Let's look at the starters for tonight's match. Hopkins tonight in the black and Wayzata in the white uniforms. The starting 6 plus the liberos for these teams: Lithye, Lily Jacobson, Wynn, Jennings, Christensen, O'Connor, and Nasia Griffin for Hopkins, Olivia Swenson, Kurth, Kelsenberg, Jesuits, Eva Swenson, Stella Swenson, and Bianca Nister for the Wayzata Trojans. You mentioned just one set loss in September 18th for Wayzata. That came against Champlin Park in late September. The Trojans won in 4, but the Rebels did take one set off them that night.
Yeah, this team just plays at a different level, and that was they dropped the opening set and then came back and ran the next 3 real quick for the win and haven't looked back since.
Let's look at our coaches tonight for Hopkins. Aisha Khan is in her first year as head coach at Hopkins. We saw her at Armstrong a few years ago. A nice turnaround, as you mentioned, Andy. 11 wins for this program last year. A lot of the same players back. That certainly helps too, but it has them to an 18-10 record coming into tonight.
Yeah, really high-level coach that's really getting a lot out of her group. And then we see Scott Jackson.
25th season, and we found out in the last week going into the Volleyball Hall of Fame the night before the state tournament starts. Well-deserved congratulations to Scott.
When you look at the other members that are in the Hall of Fame, you know, he's still coaching now, so that's the only reason he wasn't in it before. But if you look at his resume, he should have been in a couple of years ago. We've got going for an unprecedented, not unprecedented, but almost unprecedented 4th straight state title. Been at the helm of this program for 25 years and been in more state finals than I've covered, and I've been doing this for quite a while as well.
If you're Wayzata, you're the big favorite tonight. You expect to win. What do you want to see, though, from your team? You don't want to be sloppy, right, going into the section final? Right.
You don't want to be sloppy. You want to be businesslike. You want to be respectful of your opponent. This is the point. We talk about it all year long. You know, you build for October, and then you push through in November. And they got to make sure that they're firing on all cylinders, because that Champlin Park set 1 win in the end of September, wasn't a fluke. That was well-played volleyball by Champlin Park, so they're capable of doing it. So you want to make sure they are firing on all cylinders if you're Wayzata here.
And we are underway with the first serve put in play by Rose Christensen. Avery Jesuits gets the first point, quickly set up, and 1-0 Wayzata.
You back it up one. Rotation matchups will matter here as the postseason runs, and I believe they spun it back a half a rotation to put Stella in the back row still. Interesting little flip here.
Chip at the net by Lily Jacobson. They'll go to Stella Swenson right side, and they'll get a point for Wayzata. For Hopkins, that didn't clear. And we're tied at 1. Caitlin O'Connor on the serve for the Royals. Senior setter. Back row handled by Bianca Nister. They go to Jesuits, and pounds home her second kill.
That's a big swing, and she's just finding her stride now here at the end of the season. Really like the way she's hit the last couple balls. This one here, she sees line, takes line, and still splits it inside the right back defender.
She'll go back to serve now. Goes to Griffin. Ball set up by O'Connor, and pounding it home from the middle. It's Lily Jacobson, the junior middle, and ties it up at 2.
Jacobson, really smooth arm there. I like the way she gets through that ball against the solo block, puts it away.
Mai Jennings back to serve now for the Royals. Overpass, but then over Jacobson as well. Jesuits with a mistake on the pass, and it works out okay.
Yeah, sometimes things just bounce your way, and Wayzata's got a few of those.
Katie Kelsenberg serving for the first time tonight. Tight to the net, but O'Connor able to get the set to Jacobson. Stella Swenson back, put across by Kurth. Bumped over, but out by Griffin. 4-2, Wayzata. Serving is Kelsenberg. That's handled by Holifsky. Ball to the middle. Jennings with her first kill tonight. Leads the team in kills. We talked about in pregame.
Yeah, nice little swing out of the back row there. Finds the deep corner.
326 kills in the regular season for the senior Jennings, heading to Bethune-Cookman next year. Quick set, Stella Swenson back pushed over by Kurth. Oh, that one is left for Olivia Swenson. Senior has no trouble with that ball.
One of the things you also want to do in a match like this, Kurth not a big part of the offense most of the season, so look for Stella to get her quite a few balls here in this match, see if they can get her going, get her ready for the rest of the season.
Stella Swenson with the serve, handled by Jennings. Ball set right side and pushed down. That's Georgia Holifsky with her first kill tonight.
Well, Licky, really nice job there pushing that ball. We'll take a look here. The set's inside. She tips it over the block, catches Stella crashing, and Jesuits not swinging over in time.
Avery Merritt, just a sophomore, serves this one, overpass, but across and down for a point. That's O'Connor with the kill. By 5.
Setters love getting the opportunity to swing. O'Connor, big grin after that one. Nister thought she read it well, but a little bit of off speed on it.
Good serve, and it's an ace off the hands of Jesuits. 6-5 Royals.
Early lead here for the 5 seed.
Merritt, tough handle by Jesuits, but got it. And Olivia Swenson gets blocked by Holifsky. 7-5 Hopkins.
Georgia not fooled on the rip behind, gets hands well across. That's a great block. Kudos to the crew setting up that net cam. That's a really good look.
Merritt puts it in play, handled by Nister. Cross it goes, Olivia Swenson. Good dig by Jennings. It's up in the rafters, and a little trouble coming down for Merritt. It bounced around up there a little bit before it finally came down. Point inside out here for Wayzata.
We've done a handful of games in this gym this year, and that it seems like that becomes more and more a part of the game every time.
Yes. Olivia Swenson, Holifsky, it's the pass. Jennings back to Holifsky, tapped at the net by Kurth. Hopkins able to handle it. Holifsky too strong. Oh, got it down for a point. Wayzata thought it was going to go out, but ruled in. Point for the Royals, and they're back up by 2 again.
Good deep corner shot there by Georgia. Really like the way she comes through that ball.
Stella Swenson outside. Jesuits another kill. She's got 4 here in the first set.
Nister's platform is really calm right now. They Royals are intentionally serving away from her, but she's pretty active and goes and steals that one.
Bianca Nister's serve. Floats it over, handled back row by Holifsky. Attack from O'Connor. And another point. Off the hand of Olivia Swenson. Hopkins back to a 2-point lead again.
Good reversal here. Ball goes outside of Jesuits' block. That's a tough ball for Swenson to pick up.
Rose Christensen serving. 9-7 Hopkins. So Swenson will set her down for a point. So good at that.
Deceptive, can put it in a variety of different places. Here we see her, she squares up, everything looks normal, and as she's flowing forward, she reverses that into the donut.
115th kill of the season for Swenson. Serve put in play by Chloe Lackas. Here's Amaya Jennings, picked up by Jesuits. So Swenson goes back to Jesuits, off the hands. Ball at the net. Hopkins does get it over. O'Connor on third contact. Back set. Kelsenberg gets blocked by Jennings. Wayzata picks it up. Back to Jesuits into the net. Hopkins point. Long rally. Royals get it. And again, we're switching, or trading points from 1 to 2 point lead for Hopkins.
Yeah, Royals stayed calm as things went a little chaotic for them there. Really nice job to stay in it.
Lily Wynn, senior, number 12 into the 11, into the match for Hopkins. That one goes off the ceiling, and Jesuits another second straight ball right into the net. And Hopkins with its biggest lead tonight at 11-8, 3-point lead.
Jesuits trying to focus in here.
Back to Jesuits again, this time tips it to the middle. Holiski spins it, handled by Kelsenberg. Jesuits again. Deep corner, Holiski able to pick it up. Jennings, slap it over, picked up by Olivia Swenson. Outside, Jesuits again, this time off hands and down for a point. Jesuits to serve, her team trailing by 2. Royals scrambling, Holiski gets it over. Mister to Swenson, Stella Swenson back to Kelsenberg. Good pick up by Holiski and over by Jennings. Ball at the net by Kelsenberg, put it in play, but picked up by Hopkins again. And Olivia Swenson finally puts one away in front of Griffin.
That was a fantastic rally. Good defense on both sides. The second route there that we just saw from Kelsenberg, she ran the slide, got dug, ran a different route, and then ran a third route when they went to Olivia Swenson on the outside. Really active middle play there.
Jesuits floating it over, and Jennings can't get it over. A little late to that first contact, and then O'Connor didn't get a great second ball, and then all of a sudden it's on the floor. 11-11. 3 in a row here for Wayzata. And they go back in front. Ball set to Wynn, floats it across. Stella Swenson outside, Olivia Swenson. A little speed behind that ball, Andy.
Sometimes you can just tell what's about to happen before it does, and as soon as Stella got in the air to set this ball, right here, the block is frozen, and there's no way they can catch up to the ball that Olivia Swenson's going to swing at.
Jesuits, good serve, picked up by Griffin. O'Connor back set, Jennings blocked, but out of bounds, and it's a Hopkins point. 12-12. Stella Swenson back to Kelsenberg. Rushed her run up to that ball a little bit, Andy, and into the net.
Yeah, Stella wasn't quite under that ball the way she should have been, so the ball got behind her too quick. Kelsenberg not able to catch up.
Royals back in front, 13-12. Tipped over, back roll by Swenson. And then here the attack from Wynn, blocked by Wayzata. They get their first block tonight.
A good vision here, great close, 4 hands, and she finds all of Olivia Swenson's left arm.
13-all, Kelsenberg rifles a serve across. Quick ball in the middle, and a great block in the middle by by Kurth.
Good solo block there by Kurth. Jacobson coming straight on. Take a look here. So far over.
Wayzata back in front by 1. Not for long. Kill for Amaya Jennings.
If I'm Wayzata, I don't let her swing on an open net. That was no block up on that, and she's going way downhill. That's a really nice swing.
You see a Griffin to serve. 14-all. Good first set here. Stella Swenson, back it goes. Swung across by Kurth. Floated over by Holiski. Stella Swenson will dump another one. Second time she's done that tonight.
Just a really good vision there by Stella. She gets her eye off the ball a couple different times to see how the Royal defense is setting up.
And she's so good at it, even if you were expecting it, Andy, it's not always an easy ball to defend. Here's Jennings again. Picked up by Nister. Stella. That's too far under, yeah. The momentum carries her under. Point for Hopkins.
Heads up call there by our R2. They did make an adjustment. Kurth was up with Jennings on that back row attack that time.
Avery Merritt, good serve. Nister. Stella Swenson, and a little bit awkward swing, but it works for Olivia Swenson. Hopkins unable to return it.
Royals had eyes on Olivia. She came in on that 2 ball, but it drifted, so she was able to get around that second block.
Eva Swenson now in for Wayzata. O'Connor out to Holiski, spins it off the hands of Stella Swenson. Here's Jesuits attacking. Jennings pushes it deep. Yeah, and have a contact called on Jennings there. 17-15, Wayzata. Royals have not let Wayzata go on a long Wayzata-like run so far. They have hung right in here in this first set. O'Connor will dump one over. And
that'll fall.
Wayzata kept playing it as if it were picked up, but it did hit the floor. And so they get the side out on the point, 17-16.
Preventing a nice run there. Just like we were talking about, John.
Stella Swenson back set here and put across and over. Eva Swenson with her first kill. Oh no, excuse me. Hit it long. Wide, 17 all. So miss it there, a little wide of the court. And yet another tie score here in set 1. But then Holiski's serving error makes it 18-17 Wayzata. Nister, the senior libero, to put it in play. Had no timeouts, a lot of points, 35 points, no timeouts by either coach, letting them play. Back row Jennings backs up for that ball, but gets to it. Here's O'Connor swinging, too much on that ball. Trojans by 2. Float serve. Jennings picks it up. Merritt, quick set. Ball put across and down for a point. That'll go as a kill for Ashley Sarvey, a junior middle blocker, number 23. She'll come out and rotating in and serving Rose Christensen. Good serve by Christensen. Overpass. Jennings puts it away. We're tied again.
Scott debating it. This serve leads to this overpass. Jennings takes care of it. Really athletic move.
Ball in the middle. Stella Swenson outside. Avery Jesuits. Oh, nice pickup on that ball by Christensen. Here's Jennings again. Gets partially blocked. Stella Swenson, who's going to take it. Olivia Swenson does, and off the hands of Christensen and down. (2019) Wayzata. Chloe Lakis to serve. Another senior on this veteran Wayzata team. We've got Jennings. They get it back to Jennings. Picked up Olivia Swenson. Stella Swenson to Jesuits, and a great block by O'Connor.
Good vision. Great timing on the block. Pretty excited about it too.
Race to 5, Andy. We're tied at 20.
Take a look at the end of that point again. Just hands across late, right into him.
Oh, O'Connor gives one back. A service error. 21-20, Wayzata.
Chaos ensues. See what's going on rotationally.
Win back in for Hopkins. Here's the serve from Jesuits. Oh, ball tight to the net. Measley tapped down by Kelsenberg. 22-20.
Kelsenberg goes big on that overpass. Perfectly timed.
Sarvi in. Or excuse me, comes out now, and back in is Griffin. Serve from Jesuits. Handled by Griffin, tight at the net, and down for a point. The kill for Lily Jacobson. 22-21.
Good tight set. She pushes it through. Kelsenberg late on the press.
Jennings serves. Swenson to Swenson. Picked up by Griffin, up in the ceiling. Holiski. Jesuits with the pickup. Stella back to Olivia. And off hands and out. Point for Wayzata. 23-21 Trojans.
Gophers are getting a good one in Olivia Swenson, and at winning time, we know where this ball is going. I think that's exactly what Aisha Khan is going to call the timeout and talk about. We're going to have a commit block here on Swenson coming off this timeout. Pretty clean volleyball on both sides of the net so far. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Competitive edge probably goes to Hopkins. You know, they're definitely punching up here in this match and are swinging away on every opportunity they have. Those two senior outside hitters, Holiski and Jennings, are really, really doing a nice job. As we take a look at the last time these guys met in postseason last year in this exact same semifinal, 25-15, 25-12, 25-15.
Well, that was this year when they met in the regular season. They did meet in the quarterfinals last year as well.
That's right, yeah.
And the same match, actually, and they won in 3. But you look at the scores from September, they didn't get over 15. Well, here they are at 21.
Right.
And now they're on the short end of the score, I understand. But
had the lead at like 2019 still. Like this is a different team. They're on a run right now and are doing some really good things. They get out of this rotation. They get their other middle back in. I think they can push a couple here.
Here's Kelsenberg, 23-21 Wayzata. That's going to go well. Holiski chased it down. Yeah, it's going to go as an ace. Off first contact by Griffin. And they were in scramble mode and just too far to go. And now it's set point.
And she'll call her second timeout, give them some time to think about it. I don't think that was the game plan off that timeout, was to mishandle there. We'll see what happens here off 24-21. Wayzata, I was expecting, you know, we've covered a few matches of the Trojans this year. I was expecting this to be one of those matches where Scott gets to go down his bench, get some kids some opportunities here, but Hopkins keeping it way too close for that, doing a really nice job.
You know, Aisha Khan told me before the match, said, we're the underdog. Well, you know, we'll give it our shot. They're high school kids, you know, well, they're loose. We're ready to play, and they've played like that.
Yeah, she's really well composed right now, handling the team well, talking to them about how we handle the next touch. Good eye contact from her team, looking in on what she's got going on. Look for a cleaner first touch off this timeout and see what happens.
Well, Wayzata only needs one here. Kelsenberg will try to put it away here for the Trojans. Griffin handles this one. O'Connor back set and then tip over and little cross by O'Connor. Stella Swenson will set it up. Olivia Swenson gets blocked. Great block by the Royals. They go back to Olivia Swenson and the stand down for a point, and they're set one.
Rules of hitters being repeated. If you're a middle and you get set 2 balls in a row, you got to hit a different set. if you're a pin hitter, you get set 2 balls in a row, you got to hit a different shot. Swenson takes the first ball hard into the cross. The block is there. She gets reset. She goes thumb down and hits a little sharp cutty there to finish the set. Great finish for the Trojans. Royals in it until 20, and then it was all Wayzata down the stretch, as we've said multiple times this year.
So Wayzata takes set 1. As we go to break, we'll take a look at that last point again. We'll take a timeout, come back, set 2. 5-4A volleyball on CCX. Number 1, Wayzata leading the 5th-seeded Hopkins Royals. 1-0. We head for the second set. Mentioned tied at 20, and then Wayzata wins 5 of the final 6 points. And I don't know if they were never looked nervous, but you always breathe a little easier when you're the top seed and you win that first one, especially when it's a tight one. You don't want to think about, right?
Great camera work getting Scott Jackson up there, because there was a few points in the middle latter third of that set where Scott looked a little less comfortable than he normally does. Girls on the court stayed calm and collected the whole time, but Scott had a little more concern, as he's all business right now.
Bianca Nister will get us started with set 2. They set the ball to Amaya Jennings, off hands, layout by Stella Swenson. Jesuits handles the misdirect off the ceiling, but can't get it across. 4 hits, point Hopkins. Connor had a really nice first set. She'll put this ball in play. Comes up on Olivia Swenson, but handles it. Over by Eva Swenson, and down for a point. Eva, the younger sister of the twins, the sophomore, still got 2 years left here at Wayzata.
Yeah, and that family has seen some Hopkins Royals volleyball as well. Mother Vicky coached at Hopkins for 20-plus years, if memory serves.
And Sam Sulliger Swenson was a all-state player there, and the 2 senior Swenson started their high school career at Hopkins before coming over here to Wayzata. Back set here, Kelsenberg gets blocked. And we're going to confer, was that ball in play, touched or not? But
line judge's call by ruling was that he saw it go off the attacker here. Kelsenberg gets hit. I don't think it did, but from his vantage point, I think he saw that go off Kelsenberg as it went over her and down out of bounds.
Yeah, definitely didn't. But that's the call, and
we
ball doesn't lie. This next service into the net, right?
That is my favorite and least favorite cliche in volleyball.
Tied up at 2. Deep serve by Jesuits. Connor across to Holitsky. Nister with the dig. Stella Swenson all the way across to Olivia Swenson. Gets blocked. Great play by Nister to get to that ball. Holitsky off Jesuits. Great scramble. And then over by Stella Swenson. A little miss hit there by Lily Jacobson. Stella Swenson over the net a little too aggressive on wanting to pound that ball, and number 10's into the net.
Yeah, it's there we see Vicky and Eric, all 3 of the Jesuits', really good volleyball families all over this Wayzata crew.
Royals in the lead at 3-2. Stella Swenson, there's Kelsenberg. Kelsenberg, one of the underclassmen, she'll be a big part of this Wayzata team next year.
Yeah, both middles, only juniors, going to be a big part of what comes back for Wayzata.
Great serve by Kelsenberg, but a good dig by Holiski. And that one goes off hands, and Sarvi gets the kill. They'll slide it down onto the court.
Sarvi's having a nice little match here. 3 or 4 kills, couple blocks.
Avery Merritt to serve. Back row handled by Jesuit. Stella Swenson back, and
net violation
on Hopkins. Point for Wayzata.
Man, this net camera is just paying off.
Holiski got called there. Jennings had a run to that ball. Hopkins in scramble mode, but they handle it. Olivia Swenson, a little tap. Ball set across and over. Stella Swenson back, and then off the antenna on the swing from Lackas.
Lack is getting some front row time here. Good move by Jesuits to run that ball down in the corner. Line is open. She tries to take it a little bit too much line. Now we've got a crooked antenna.
Nister handling the Holiski ball and put over by Olivia Swenson. Excuse me, 5-5 as that one tied it up. Olivia Swenson back to serve. Griffin, Merritt, and over by Jennings.
And we see Dad taking in another game, his daughter's final season here. Good swing through the block and down.
Ball put over by Ava Swenson. I met Greg Jennings at a charity golf tournament years ago. Loved him as a Viking. Didn't like him when he played on the other side of the border.
That game where the ball went off of our DB's back and he caught it and ran it in untouched for a touchdown. I still have nightmares about that. It's fine. I'm seeing a therapist. We'll be okay. Glad he's part of our squad now here in CCX territory.
6-6 with Nister serving. O'Connor off of Stella Swenson and pushed deep. Nice ball to the corner by Kelsenberg.
Still getting Stella the assist there as Kelsenberg takes it over on 2. Really heads up play here. Starts with this chaos serve. No block up, has nothing but open space.
Nister, Jennings back row. We'll go back to Jennings, off a hand, but Olivia Swenson able to pick it up. Here's Jesuits. Too strong. Seven, and very similar to the first set, right, Andy? We're kind of trading points. Hopkins not going anywhere. O'Connor serving. Ball to the middle, Olivia Swenson. Over, handled by O'Connor. Jennings, off hands, and Jacobson can't get it up, and it's 8-7 in favor of Wayzata. Hopkins with some rotating some players in, as does Wayzata, as Lackas comes back in to serve. There's Jennings, puts the ball away. We're tied at 8. Olivia Swenson, Stella Swenson, Kelsenberg. 8-7, 8-9-8. Wayzata. Goodness, look at the scoreboard, John.
Happens to the best of us, John. This is a great slide set all the way to the pin. Holiski knows it's coming and can't get in front of it. That's a fast ball.
Jesuits try to put her team up by 2. No. Side out, tied at 9. Griffin serving. Senior libero and captain puts it in play. Lacus, Nister, Olivia Swenson off. Hands in the front row. That one kind of floated in the air and dropped down on the Hopkins side, where it ends up as a point for the Trojans. Well, Jesuits is having a problem with a contact or what, but a few times she's kind of gone to one eye, and you can see it again right now in her right eye. Kelsenberg serve handled by Holiski. They'll go back to Georgia. Wow. She's got some power.
Holiski unloading, sharp cross. Supercuts open late today. Take a look at that one again. Block sets up to take away the 6, and she goes sharp, sharp, sharp. Really, really nice job.
Merritt serves. Stella Swenson to Olivia. Right in front of Jennings for a point.
3 balls almost indefensible when Olivia Swenson hits it. Block doesn't have the ability to get athletic and get out there. It's just a quick crow hop in, and it goes in between both blockers. Really nice set and swing.
Serving to the net by Stella Swenson. Trade points, we're at 11.
See what route Liv runs here when she's in the 1.
Holiski.
2 ball coming.
Swenson to Olivia, off hands. Off for Connor and Sarvi. (12-11). Back to half. Swenson's on the court for Wayzata with Eva rotating in. Olivia's serve. Jennings, that's up high off the curtain. Connor, and then Jennings will push it deep with a whistle, and
net violation here.
Into the net was Kurth for Wayzata. If we can see it here. Just a little bit, yep.
Net and could have been called under.
Stella Swenson to Olivia. From the middle, Holiski attacks. Here's Jesuits. Blocked put out. Point Wayzata, 13-12.
Big swing from Jesuits there. Finds the block intentionally out of bounds.
And by pattern, Andy, this next point should be Hopkins.
One would think, yeah, the way things have been going.
Nister, Griffin, here's O'Connor. Stella Swenson, Olivia Swenson, and over by Nister. Ball outside to Jennings, gets blocked. There's a great block there by Kelsenberg.
Kelsenberg just sits on that one and waits for it to come. Great press and finish. Oh, it was a late move, but still gets well across. So athletic is Kelsenberg.
14-12, but then Nister with the serving error. Hopkins gets the side out. 14-13, O'Connor to serve.
Scotty J can just smile.
Stella Swenson tipped over by by Kelsenberg. Back-to-back points for her.
Good vision from the junior middle, seeing that the libero had crashed in. Whole lot of room on that right sideline.
15-13, Lacus back to serve again. Back row Jennings, now it's O'Connor. To the middle, Holiski. Off of Nister for a point.
Missed her kind of half move for that ball. Didn't get two hands on it. That's a ball she can normally play better. Holiski finds the sideline for the point. We'll take another look here. Good back row swing. Cut late. Nister thought she was coming inside.
Oh, Jennings off the tape. Oh, just strong, trying to catch that corner, and was Stella Swenson and missed.
It's a really good serve, troublesome. Stella so smart, but yeah, just deep, I believe.
Jennings tried to put her team in front. Serves it wide. Jesuit serves off of Griffin, and trying to avoid going into her bench was Lily Wynn. Didn't get much on that second touch. Point for Wayzata.
Calm and collected, ready to receive this next serve as well. That's what you're looking for in a libero.
Griffin to O'Connor. Go to Holiski. And miss hit on that ball, and Wayzata with what's been tonight a rare three-point lead. It's 18-15, timeout Hopkins.
Yeah, Holiski came down a little awkward there. Might have gone into the post after she hit that ball. And first three-point run, I believe, of the match, John. So that gets Aisha Khan to call a timeout, looking for a way to get out of this rotation. Pretty clean volleyball still on both sides. Some serving errors, but they're not serving errors into the middle of the net or deep into zone 6. They're going for it and missing the sideline by a foot. That's you live with those. As at this level, you're going to have some missed serves, because if you just pop the ball in play, their best passer handles it, and now you got to defend too many hitters with your block. So you're going to miss some serves, as we see Champlin Park in the building, getting ready to go.
One of our two other semifinalists, Maple Grove, has not arrived yet, or at least not in the gym.
Coaches are here, players aren't.
Right. Rebels and the Crimson follow yet tonight on CCX. This has been a good one, Andy. Our first semifinal. Wayzata, the #1 seed, heavy favorite, winning, but it's not easy.
No, they are having to work for every single point. If I'm Aisha Khan, I'm proud of the effort I'm getting from my team right now. We just need to see if we can get one bounce to go our way.
Out of the timeout, Jesuits floats the serve, catches Holiski high. Jennings in the middle, off of Jesuits for a kill. Good point for Hopkins, and Amaya Jennings gets her team a big point.
Taking a look at this one again. Out of the back row, she goes thumb down and catches Jesuits moving to her left. Really good spot.
Stella Swenson, that ball not set well to Olivia Swenson. They'll recover though and handle it. O'Connor go to Holiski, off some hands. Nister, Stella Swenson back to Kelsenberg. Had to adjust on that ball and got it down for a point.
Ugly but effective, as Kelsenberg's able to make a second effort. She didn't get the set she wanted, but was able to still put it away. Great defensive effort on both sides, and here we see it. It's a little wider than she was expecting.
Kelsenberg serve off of Holiski. O'Connor to Jennings. And that one's off the antenna, and Wayzata now with a 4-point lead, and they're at 20. When he's 16, Jennings laid out for that ball. Griffin, Stella Swenson, and it's Holiski winning that one-on-one battle at the net.
It's a disappointing end to a point if you are Wayzata. That's a completely broken play. I don't know that this one gets over the net, but Stella goes into the plane to get it, and Holiski meets her at the net.
Merritt, handled by Jesuits. Stella Swenson back, and the block for Hopkins, and another point. Holiski getting up to get the block on curve. 20-18. Merritt. And to pull her team back to within one here late in set 2. Stella Swenson out to Olivia Swenson. Got a couple that have had some mustard on it tonight, Andy. There was one there.
Yeah, her team gives up 2 or 3 in a row. We all know where the ball's going, and it doesn't matter because she's going to hit over, around, or through whatever block you put up. This time she goes around it. A little self-defense there from Merritt.
O'Connor dumps one over. Great play by Nister to get to that ball. Olivia Swenson. Jennings lays out for one. That's caught up in the basketball hoop, and then the contact error on the downside of that by Griffin.
Yeah, off the ceiling, it's hard to play those. You just got to kind of probably pass that ball, little forearm contact to prevent a double contact.
Stella Swenson, second time tonight. She's served one into the net. Royals get the side out, 22-19. Quick set ball in the middle, and it's another kill for Olivia Swenson. Stella sets up her sister, and it's 23-19 Trojans. Olivia Swenson going back to serve. Timeout, Hopkins.
The final timeout here is set 2 as they're seeing the runway run away from them. Olivia back to serve here at 23-19. We just put Eva back in, so again, we have a 50% Swenson court. We'll take a look at this one. In rotation 1, she's able to run either all the way out to the antenna or the last 3 or 4 times she's come into the middle here. Catches a right side blocker and a middle blocker up, sees it, cuts it back where the left side blocker would have been had she gone up, and there's just no defense for that play. She's playing at another level right now.
That's just knowing where the defense is, and thinking it's like a chess move. You're thinking one step ahead, one ball ahead.
Right, you gotta get your eye on the ball and then off the ball and see what's going on. And Olivia and Stella both do it better than just about anybody else in the state. Really nice job here from those seniors, along with a handful of other seniors for Wayzata as they're looking to close out set 2 and take a 2-0 lead.
And if you live in Minnesota and love college volleyball, you can watch those ladies play another 4 years downtown.
Yeah, it should be exciting.
23-19. The Swenson serve. Quick set to the middle. Ball tapped over by Lucy Farrow. Ball from the middle. Olivia Swenson getting blocked. And it's Farrow with the serve, with the block. Gets her point at 23-20 for Hopkins.
Pretty excited here. Good back row swing. Farrow just throws her hands up, and Olivia, because Farrow goes straight up, the block goes deeper into the court than Wayzata is used to.
Junior middle comes out now. Here's Jesuits, all picked up by Merritt, and double contact called on that hit. And now we're at set point. Wynn back in, and Griffin for Hopkins. Nister to try to end it here in set 2. Ball outside to Jennings. Picked up by Nister. Stella Swenson to Jesuits. Into the net, 24-21.
It's like the 3rd or 4th time she's hit it really hard into the middle of the net on an out-of-system ball. At some point, she's got to learn how to survive and just put that ball in the corner and hope for another ball.
O'Connor serves. Stella Swenson races to it, and a quick put away by Kelsenberg, who's really played a solid match here tonight. Andy came up with some big points in that second set. Wayzata wins again, 25-21.
Yeah, mirror image on the end of the set. The run came towards the latter third, not the last 5 points. A lot of other similarities between sets 1 and 2 there. That last point looked like it might go into the plane. Middle blocker went up to try and get it. If it did, Stella Swenson, being Stella Swenson, saves it. And now it's a 1-on-none, and Kelsenberg is going to win that 100% of the time.
Wayzata's up 2-0. More volleyball. Trojans to try to close it out in 3. Coming back on CCX. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Wayzata Volleyball going for a 4th straight championship in Minnesota Volleyball. Of course, no tournament in 2020 because of the pandemic, but won it in 19, 21, and 22. And looking for a second unbeaten season of those 4 championships as they can close it out. Got to win the last one here, and then 4 more to get to state, or to win state.
To win state, yeah. And Scott Jackson is a very disciplined coach. His athletes are very disciplined. Right now, they're worried about the Royals. Some of the parents behind us might be thinking about booking their rooms at in downtown St. Paul and where they're going to go to dinner and all those other things. But these athletes and these coaches are worried about the Royals because they know 25-21 can easily get flipped here in set 3 if focus wanes even a little bit.
Royals trying to stay alive here. Rose Christensen gets us underway here in set 3. Avery Jesuits off of the hands of Griffin and over by Jennings. Mister to Swenson. Kelsenberg gets blocked but out of bounds off the hands of Lily Jacobson.
Good swing, finding the block there, tooling it for the early 1-0 lead. Lacus was injured for part of the season, came back, has been playing since I think we covered the Champlain Park Wayzata match.
Serves it at Griffin. Ball in the middle, gets blocked. Kelsenberg and Jesuits ready for the attack.
It's the first time we've seen a double block on that middle. Good little wrinkle there from the Trojans, recognizing a perfect pass.
O'Connor sets it outside. Jennings puts it away. Gets Hopkins on the board in set 3.
Rule when blocking is if her hand goes fast, you got to get across faster. Kelsenberg not able to get across fast enough, and Jennings cuts it around her.
Ball set right side. Kelsenberg with the kill. She's been about perfect tonight on her attacks.
Yeah, and what Wayzata does reminds me of the 08 Penn State team that also went undefeated. If a player gets beat on something, Stella does a pretty good job of finding her on the next ball, giving her a redemption opportunity.
3-1 with Jesuits serving. Tough ball for O'Connor, but gets it back into the middle of the court. Stella Swenson back to Kelsenberg. Picked up and over by Jennings. Swenson, Olivia Swenson, and across off the hands of Griffin. Mister to Olivia Swenson, floats one this time over the block and down.
Again, you get dug on your first shot. If you get the next ball back, you got to hit something different. Liv Swenson could write a book on how outside hitters are supposed to get handled with their second ball. Really nice job.
O'Connor to Jennings. Couldn't do much with that ball. Point for Hopkins. Gets them back to within one. Yeah, able to get just enough of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Dad doesn't seem as impressed with that point as we were.
That was. Oh, off the curtain, but handled and put across by Lacus. Holiski gets blocked. Kelsenberg with the block on Holiski.
Now that ball died inside. Block adjusted very well and closed on the outside hitter Holiski.
Kelsenberg off the tape. Swenson on the quick overpass by Holiski, able to put it down. Stella Swenson.
I think the Trojans have found that next gear that it's hard for other people to play with. This overpass is on the floor again before anything happens. Stella, no smile, no nothing, just business right now.
Ball the middle. Jennings gets blocked. Blocked by Kurth. Early Wayzata run. We haven't seen this in either of the first 2 sets, but they're up 7-2 and a quick early timeout from Aisha Khan.
Yeah, this is the first time it's felt like this in this gym where Wayzata feels like they're completely in control. They've been in control the whole match, but Hopkins has been able to control their side a lot better up until the beginning of this set. We'll take a look at this back row attack. It's a little bit tighter than Jennings was expecting. She has to broad jump to get to it, and Kurth sits in front of her approach angle and takes care of the block. Really well done there. Good discipline from the junior middle. Wayzata on the run, on the roll that we know they're capable of going on, and looking to close this one out quick here in set 3. Aisha Khan probably talking to her athletes about maybe mixing up set location. They want to run Jennings on the back row. I believe she's receiving in the 1 in this one. If that's the case, I'd run her on a D ball instead of something over the middle, see if a block will adjust to her. See what happens when we get back out on the court.
Good start for the Trojans. They look to close it out. We saw Champlin Park in the house earlier. Now Maple Grove, who's the second semifinalist tonight, that will take on Champlin Park. They'll play the role of Hopkins, so to speak, in the second.
Yeah, but not quite as much, because Maple Grove is a top 10 team in the state.
Yeah.
There just happens to be 3 of them in this section.
But definitely the underdog against the Rebels.
Correct.
The play at the net by Holiski and Swenson on that ball. With the back, Stella Swenson. And Kurth with the kill. 8-2 Wayzata. Their first 6-point lead tonight.
There was a lot of attention being paid to Stella Swenson in the middle there. Left side block releases late. Got a scorer's table issue here. Wonder if we got a timeout late, if we got the score right. Could be an out of rotation call, but it doesn't seem like it. Looking at the Hopkins side.
Seems like it's a rotation thing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
a sub didn't get noticed or recognized. See what happens here. Consummate professionals at these scorers tables just about every time I see it. And R2, they're mic'd up, the R1 and R2 are. So as soon as the R2 saw something he didn't quite understand or didn't like, called the R1 off the stand to make sure things are handled. Now she will go over and address the scorers table and the head coach, who probably shouldn't be in front of the 10-foot line. But they're getting things organized. Aisha Khan gonna get a relaxation here, figure things out. Talking to her captain O'Connor about where they are and who's going to be on the floor when.
We mentioned the section final is next Wednesday at Osseo High School. The second of 2 section championships going on that night in the gym, 5-3A and then the 5-4A that we'll televise. And then the state meet starts for 4A schools the following Wednesday, November 8th at XL Energy Center.
And the winner of this section should be the 9 a.m. match on Wednesday.
1 p.m. this year is the schedule.
Thank goodness.
1
Let me
p.m.
sleep in on a Wednesday. I'm okay with that. No traffic. Hey, kudos. It might have something to do with the fact that Scott Jackson is on the board of control and might be the rep that talks to the state tournament as they're figuring out when the substitution happened and how things go from there.
So what's the end here? Can they be penalized a point?
So they won't be penalized a point, because if you're out of rotation, basically the point goes to your opponent, but the point already went to Wayzata.
Yeah.
So they won't be added a point. They'll just line them up correctly and go from there. If it was the other way, like if Wayzata had a wrong server, if Kelsenberg wasn't supposed to serve, all of the points that she has scored would be taken off and a side out would be given to Hopkins. So that would be detrimental, as they say.
I'll come over and talk to Coach Jackson. I haven't seen this long of a discussion, Andy, in quite some time.
Right. No, I think we don't have. I think we have a Hopkins out of rotation call. We'll get him out on the court. We'll get things figured out.
Meanwhile,
and we're going to get a yellow card, team delay, which is the penalty. Which is the penalty assessed when there is a rotation fault in those situations and a point isn't addressed. So yes, it was a rotation fault on Hopkins because it took the delay to get things resituated. That is a team delay that will be assessed to the team. So if they do something else where like a kid is wearing the wrong kind of jewelry or something silly like that, it would be a point for Wayzata. But as it turns out, it's just a free timeout for the Royals and a missed serve off the timeout.
So they get the side out, and their third point of set 3. Trailing 8-3. Nasia Griffin with the serve. Stella Swenson, back set. Kurth ball picked up by O'Connor. Poliski, not too far into the net. Couldn't stop her momentum.
Scary moment there. At this point in your senior year, to have that much chaos at the net can lead to some pretty uncomfortable things.
Stella Swenson serves at Griffin. Jennings off the ceiling, and tough ball for either Holitzky or Griffin to play after that.
In a different gym, that's a perfect out-of-system ball that Jennings gives, but here it catches that curtain in the middle.
Well, a higher ceiling next Wednesday at Osseo.
That is correct.
That'll go as an ace for Stella Swenson, who leads the team in ace serves.
And a pretty neat banner hanging there of a team from 50 years ago that won the first ever state title for volleyball.
And that team will be inducted into the Coaches Hall of Fame as well, the Minnesota High School Volleyball Hall of Fame as well, the same night as Scott Jackson gets honored. Another ace for Stella Swenson, dropping it in front of Jennings, and Wayzata is, like you would say, Andy, doing Wayzata things, up 12-3 now.
Yeah, they just can take over at a moment's notice, and that's exactly what they're doing here. If I may, I want to riff a little bit about that state tournament, that state championship team 50 years ago. You think about where the game has come, where it's going. We'll take another look at this last point. Clean ace for that for Wayzata. I happen to know three of the players on that team I have coached with or against multiple times in my tenure, and the way they carry themselves and the way they talk about that team and what happened. One thing we won't get officially from the team, Monica Lasis was her name at the time, married Steve Getchell.
Yeah.
And because there was nobody to play, Steve and a bunch of his buddies put a team together that would scrimmage against that team when they were getting ready and beat them 3 out of 4 times. So whenever anybody talks about how great that state championship team is, Steve pipes up and says, yeah, but we beat them 3 times. I don't want to get into the conversation with Steve about it's a little bit different playing men against women, but he gets into it just the same.
Speaking of Osseo, saw their current AD and their former head coach, Bill Kwan, is in the house.
Holitzky taking care of that overpass for a side out.
And that 74 team, Chaz Moots from our station did a great piece on them when they were honored at an Osseo match last month about what challenges that girls today have no idea what players faced in 1974, playing with nets that sagged in the middle and uniforms that they shared between the basketball and the softball team and the volleyball team.
That's
all the things that high school girls had to do in the early years of after Title IX that volleyball team faced. You have no idea. Playing in gyms a third of the size maybe of this.
Right. Talk about a low ceiling. They played in middle school gyms. Yes. They played everywhere. And you talk about the kids that are playing now. I had a good conversation with some Minnetonka kids, and they get 3 brand new uniforms every year they're on varsity. They're just 1-year uniforms, and then they get new ones next year because their booster program allows them to do that. And it's just it's mind-blowing what these kids get, and we thank the women that were trailblazers 50 years ago for giving those opportunities.
Back to volleyball, and Olivia Swenson this time with an ace off of Jennings. 14 for Wayzata. And to cruise here in set 3 and put Hopkins away and move into the section final. Another good serve from Olivia Swenson. They go to Holiski. Handled back row. Stella Swenson in the middle. And that one is out and then kill for Kurth.
Nice swing from Kurth there. Jennings tries to get under it. Great defensive effort here. Good in-system play through the seam of the block.
O'Connor, played back by Jesuits, and that's off the top of the net and out. Hopkins just making errors right now and playing very unlike they played the first 2 sets.
Yeah, I think they sense it coming, and so now they're trying to do a little bit too much with each touch instead of just playing the ball that got them into the first 2 sets.
Here's Holiski, and she gets blocked. Kurth with the kill. Everything rolling Wayzata's way. They're playing exceptional volleyball.
Now this set dies inside a little bit. Holiski trying to take supercut, and Kurth stops short of closing and takes care of that block.
17-4. Jennings lays out for that ball. Here's Holiski, taps it over. Jesuit, Stella Swenson, back set. Over by Ava Swenson. That's off the curtain and down. Nothing he can do with that ball. That low, not super low, but low-ish ceiling really come into play to the detriment of Hopkins here in set 3. Another serve for Olivia Swenson. O'Connor to Holiski. Stella Swenson, Nister. Outside, Jesuits. And a hitting error for Jesuits there. Hopkins finally gets to .5. They were stuck on 4 for a long time.
Yeah, good run there from Liv Swenson at the line. Great clean volleyball from Wayzata, letting Hopkins kind of error their way out of this match.
Jesuits puts it away off the set from Stella Swenson.
A little bit of off speed.
Yep, off the hitting error for the senior, comes back and gets a kill. Maggie Anderson, senior middle, will come in to the match for the first time tonight, number 21. Mr. back row. Oh, and then who's going to take that ball? No one came to it after Griffin had first contact.
Frustration setting in on the side of the Royals. O'Connor looking around, recognizing that might be her ball, given the opportunity here.
O'Connor will dump it over, but Stella Swenson ready for it. Pushed over by Sarvi, but Wayzata responds. Jesuits ball dug up. They go to Jennings, offhand. Stella Swenson, Mr. No. Can't do anything with that. Jennings will get credit for the kill.
Good long rally there, won by the Royals. There's 7 seniors looking to finish out competitively here.
Griffin serves. Ball set to the middle. Anderson with the swing. And it's just missed, and it's a side out to Hopkins.
Love the idea there, getting the senior who's come in fresh off the bench, giving her some swings. Wait a minute. And then we have rotation issue again? Question mark?
Well,
taking a look here, the Trojans ranked number 9 in the latest rankings. Wow, in the whole country. That's amazing. Ranked 2 in the region behind, Papillion La Vista has like 9 kids going to the Big Ten, so it's okay to be a little bit behind them, and ahead of number 3 Champlin Park here. This is the USA Today national rankings, so number 9 in the country.
It's not bad.
They're doing some things. And what you really have to take into effect, and it's something that I've been paying attention to as long as I've been in Minnesota, Scott Jackson saying if they're out of rotation, that's got to be a side out because she did actually serve the ball incorrectly. That might be the case. We'll see what happens here. But again, getting back to this top 10 ranking in the state, every other state that I follow at all, you can play across state boundaries for high school sports. Minnesota, one of few states that does not allow that. So this great Wayzata team can't go to Illinois, can't go to California, can't go to Texas, can't go to Florida and play some of the other better teams. So this is all based on what they've seen here. And now we'll get a rotation here. They had an incorrect server, did Hopkins, so they will lose that point. Wayzata will side out and get the serve here. And entering the game, Maddie Dimmler.
Another senior will serve it here for Wayzata. Dimmler puts it in play. All tight at the net, but put across by Jennings. Swenson and Olivia Swenson with some force off Holiski, and Wayzata's at 22.
That looks like a counterplay in football if you're watching from the Trojan side, as there's just chaos in front. 3 players running through each other, and over the top of all of it comes Swenson.
Jennings, got one more killing her. No, Nister, Jesuits, and it's Wayzata that gets the point out of that. Looks like Jennings pounded that ball, but Nister with great initial contact gets the dig. They get the set, and Jesuits puts it away.
That's that home court bounce. That curtain that was in the way caught into a backboard, which gave Nister time to play the ball.
And Jennings across, and Nister can't pick this ball up.
Big swing from Jennings, who's going to take swings till the end of this thing.
23-7 with O'Connor back to serve.
Take a look at the end of this. Block is there, and she goes around it. Really nice swing. Tight.
Stella Swenson dumps it. Jennings picks it up. Stella dumping it again. Jennings one more time. Back-to-back kills for her. Sophia Calabria, number 4, is in for Hopkins. She's in the front row right now. Back to serve is O'Connor. Royals got Wayzata a little bit in scramble mode. Here's Jennings, gets blocked. Stella Swenson with a block, and we're at match point.
3-ball did not fool the Trojans as Stella jumped inside and got right in front of that. Her and Anderson closing that block, setting up match point.
Wayzata fans on their feet as Jesuit serves. Floats it to Jennings. Connor back to Jennings, punches it over, gets blocked. Holiski with a run, and that's it. And Wayzata, not an easy time in either set 1 or 2. Make it look pretty easy there in set 3, winning 25-8. They are 30-0, Andy, and on to the section final.
Playing clean volleyball all 3 sets. A little bit tough in sets 1 and 2, but set 3, that looked like the Wayzata team that we saw at the Apple Valley tournament, the same team we saw when they took sets 2, 3, and 4 from Champlin Park, and they are in the space they need to be. You asked at the beginning, what are you looking for in a match like this? You're looking for a set like that where you put everything together, and they did just that for a 3-0 sweep onto the section final.
Hopkins finishes 18-11, and they can go out and say, we punched at them, right? You know, we gave it our shot, but those first 2 sets.
Right, and
he had a good season overall.
Yes, they had a great season. 7 more wins than last year. Those seniors go out. Yeah, they're bummed. They're probably shedding some tears, or at least holding them back right now. But they know they gave the number 1 team in the state, a top 10 team in the country, a great run. They should be very proud of what they've done.
Another semifinal yet to come if you're watching live on CCX on this Thursday. Maple Grove and Champlin Park at approximately 7 o'clock. Wayzata moves into the section final Wednesday at Osseo. We'll have that one for you as well on CCX. For Andy Guggesberg and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for watching. Wayzata 30-0 on the season. They win in 3 over Hopkins.